the third consecutive community AMA. Starting off with a few people today. Hopefully, we get more people to join in throughout the hour. We've got with us Joseph Armenio, who is enjoying his fake background at Rare Evo Vegas. Looks good there, Joe. We've got Kushti, who is coming live from his kitchen. And we've got HQ. Who knows where HQ is? I don't know where HQ is. Probably in a closet somewhere, hiding from his sleeping bride. I'm assuming. How you doing, HQ? How
Yeah,
you doing, guys?
yeah,
I
my
thought it.
workspace. So yeah, low traffic in August, right? Early August. So yeah, it seems like most of people are on vacations. But yeah, we are here, we're active.
That's
So
that's for sure.
yeah, so yeah, HQ, how doing?
I thought I was living in all Argonauts' hearts, but okay, I will just say that I live wherever I live. So yeah, good evening, everyone, and glad to be here.
Great.
All right.
HQ, I heard you just came out with something new. You woke up and you decided to write another thing. What'd you do? Like simple DAO or something? It's called.
What did I do? So that's the question. So I just finished paper wallet creations, paper wallet top ups, and airdrops, and vanity address. And on the other side, I did some on-chain voting into the Alephium side. So yeah, I think I've done multiple stuff in last day. Yeah, yesterday.
Oh, nice. So your simple voting is fully on lithium.
Yep, that's what they
Nice.
needed for their DAO. So
Oh, cool. Do they care about governance?
well, I told them to use Paideia, but I think it's not supported. So
No, no, it was a
we'll
joke.
see.
Joke HQ, joke HQ. Awesome. Fantastic. What else is up, guys? Before we dive into some topics that were suggested, what else is new, guys? Who wants to go next? Kushti, what's new?
So a lot of things. So yeah, published something on forum, and yeah, we currently have super active discussions in the chain cash group about yeah, the different stuff which I love, like peer-to-peer currencies, well, chain cash based monetary systems and so on. Then preparing Node 6.1 release, and yeah, after that we can start testing subblock supporting mining nodes in the public testnet, I guess. So yeah, well, things are going quite well, and 6.1 will be released later today, maybe tomorrow. Moin is willing to do some additional tests, so yeah, let's see how's it going. Then yeah, well, for subblocks, some good progress, but yeah, the writing is at the beginning, yeah, going quite slowly, but yeah, maybe our the weekend next week there will be speed up here, but yeah, well, in recent days mostly polished. The implementation did comments and so on. We'll start to use LLM again to do more tests and so on. Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, also published some forum posts on well, better money labs and so on. And we'll publish more different things in coming days.
What's your need look like for helping with subblock testing? Is just going to roll out on the current testnet when we update that?
Yeah, so ideally we need for one miner, right? So we have currently a miner which is not generating subblocks, right? So would be good to test hybrid setting where there are different miners, right? Because, well, mainnet deployment will look like that. So it's not mandatory protocol update, right? And it's not a soft fork even. No, it would be a soft fork at some point because you need to lock. Yeah, actually, need to take a closer look to activation details. But yeah, for public testnet, we just need for starters for an additional miner. Well, we need to leave the current miner intact, right, and add another one with subblocks generation going on. So, and then yeah, check inject maybe also some clients and then test how things are going. Then yeah, based on that, start planning mainnet activation. But yeah, we also need for writing, right, and well, for some security audit. So currently write some things in the code, marking some places for like close security audits needed.
Speaking of security audits, I heard that you took a look over the Sigmalot contracts. How did those look, Kushti?
Yeah, so sent some notes to Luca, but yeah, well, in general, it looks good, yeah. So yeah, you guys can go ahead, I believe, with that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, I think we're waiting on one of the pieces in the front end or something like that. So we should hopefully, as I said last week, we'll test on Versal, I think, for now, and then MGPie and I will move it over to our own infrastructure, Sigmanauts, and we'll open it up to the public. So excited about that. That'll be fun.
Oh.
That was
All right. So what's the idea?
Did you post another Kushti 2 hours on Newmart? Did you replenish that token, or you haven't posted another one yet?
Not yet. So yeah, actually, I thought to check some well, Mu tutorial submissions today and send out Mu I received. And yeah, for the rest, I can just put Mu along with Erg into liquidity pool probably. But yeah, well, we will do more token sales, right? So yeah, it's actually quite I think exciting, right? To do more like community work, right? Organized in such form where yeah, you receive something and then put it into rewards for other parties. So yeah, actually, I think it could be a good time to start some raffle, right? Also, for like 2 to 3 months, maybe for another Ergo Devs fundraising, Ergo Devs DAO. Because we always spending on something. Like we now need to pay for Keystone integration, right? It's close. Then yeah, we paid for Sigma Rust 6.0 support and so on. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we can do fundraising for Subblocks security audit or what else could be needed? Matched mine sidechains framework. So hopefully there will be some more serious funding for that. But yeah, we can start with raffle or just for Subblocks maybe. It's already quite good, right?
Cool. What were you asking? You were asking what we're going to do with Sigma Lock?
Yeah, so from my observations, yeah, well, you guys had like few different use cases in mind, right?
Right, like the first most obvious one is passing of assets to somebody else based on a time lock or a price, essentially. So a simple contract that allows you to pass your tokens on to a child or a spouse or something like that, depending on a time that has passed, or else a price. And the beautiful thing about these contracts are that because somebody actually mentioned, I was talking to somebody the other day who actually sold life insurance in the past, and they're like, okay, what happens if the person dies? I was like, well, they still have to wait for the price to appreciate to the strike mark, or the time to evolve to the past to the expiry there. And I was like, but the contract is flexible enough to where you could set it for a 1 year, you could set it for 1 year each time, essentially. So you could continuously update it and feed it into another contract every year for that as well. And you could do it before. So let's say I have tokens and I've given them away already. You wouldn't want to wait till after the contract expires to do that, because your child could cash out your assets if that's who you're giving them to. So you essentially check the box that says, I, as the creator of that, have the power to change the contract at any time. So once a year or once every 2 years, whatever you think that span of time is, you could just, at day 363, you could just push a new contract right out for another year, kind of thing. So there is that option with that, which is neat. That gives you that flexibility. The other thought is, the idea was for vested tokens, essentially. If you're working with a developer and they want to know that they're definitely going to get paid, but you don't want to give them the tokens at the time. Let's say I'm starting a widget project and I have a widget token and I want to pay the developer in widget tokens, but there's a liquidity pool and the community's using it, and the project is kind of going, and I don't want the developer that I've hired to just dump on it, right? So I could essentially
Right.
stage my payments to that developer with tokens. I could make a pocket of 6 months, give him the unlocked token. I could make him a pocket of 8 months, give him the unlocked token. Make a pocket of a year and give him the unlocked token. So then that developer could then self-release these tokens throughout that time as the work is done. So there are those two options right off the bat that I think you can use for. And then, of course, there's the diamond hands option, where you just put it in to hold for yourself to protect you against yourself, so you don't spend it yourself. So
Right.
either way, or send your token to a cold wallet.
All right.
Lock it up. So yeah, so a couple options right there. Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you can then use those tokens for funding projects, right? So that they can get vesting,
Kind of
basically.
like a chain cash note almost, but on chain, right?
Uh,
Promissory note, I guess, or a redemption note.
I mean, yeah, so but it's not it's more like vesting, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it could be based on time, but also on price, right? So it's kind of like option then. No, not really. And then yeah, it's quite interesting, right? So it could be used. So you can use vesting along with price-based conditions, right?
Right.
To lock tokens, project tokens, for example. But yeah, I mean, it's probably needed to cover all those use cases with like few articles, right? Because it's quite vast functionality, I believe.
Right. What else is new? Oh, so last night, nice and tired, I pushed the Padilla DAO. The vote passed last week, and I was given 50,000 Padilla in my wallet so that I could build the infra DAO. So I've built the infra DAO. I have tokens. I've minted 1,000 tokens a month ago or so. So those people who are interested in initially joining the infra DAO, please reach out to me again, or I'll reach out to you. I have my notes somewhere with 4 or 5 people listed that would like to join. So reach out again, and we'll start that DAO up. Once we have a handful of people in there, we'll dump the rest of the tokens into the DAO. On top of that, I also uploaded and made a repository on GitHub for the Explorer versions that I'm using currently. It's Dockerized. It's based off this, I can't remember who originally built it, but it's based off, it's essentially that, with some tweaks. And that's what we're running here. So there's a full list of instructions on what you need, how to set up the, what to set up beforehand. You need NGINX, you need the full sync node, you need Git, and then how to set it up and run it. If you're going to be part of the InfraDAO, there's actually nothing you need to change. You simply just clone the repository, download it, and run it, and then you join the DAO and you get the SSL certs from Cloudflare from us, and you insert those into your system. And at that point, we point the load balancers to you, do some testing, and make sure everything works, and then you're part of the load balance for that. So that's how we're starting. We're starting off small with the Explorer infrastructure, and we're going to move to hosting things hopefully like Ergo Explorer, like Sigma Space, like Ergo Docs, eventually the Ergo platform website, as well as Sigma Space and Sigmaverse, all those kind of things. And then beyond that, most likely we'll move to something like anybody who touches Ergo from a maintenance side, right, or updating side, can also be part of this DAO and work on that kind of stuff. So yeah, starting off small, slowly building. We don't want anything to crash, so being conservative in our steps.
All right.
Who'd we lose? We lost Joe. Joe must have gotten a
Yes,
calling over at Vegas.
and yeah, at the time when I wanted to ask about Rosen updates, so yeah,
he can sense it coming.
yeah, they made some more catalyst proposals, in particular about base, and yeah, there was a tweet from base recently that they will allow any asset on base being tradable on the centralized exchange Coinbase. So by that's we can actually get on Coinbase, right?
So any
Like
assets tradable?
yeah, like any of 8 million assets they have on base would be tradable on Coinbase.
So we need to get a wrap token over there, kind of thing, Rosen Erg on another chain, or
RS Erg, yeah, and well, there is also need to find liquidity, right? Some liquidity providers, but then yeah, it would be quite good and for liquidity providers.
so that means
I
that's for trading, Kushti. So that means we would still enter through another token on Coinbase and then directly swap on Coinbase and hold Rosen Erg on Coinbase.
Yeah, but that's not different, for example, from listing Cardano assets on Kraken, right?
No, right, correct. Yep.
So it's basically the same modular liquidity, right? So well, for base, they will be need to find liquidity, but for liquidity providers, it should be quite attractive, I believe, right? Because probably as an on-ramp option and off-ramp also, yeah, it could be quite popular. So then, yeah, I mean, in a few months, we can get another option for the US for on-ramp and off-ramp, right? And to trade. So yeah, that would be great. Yeah. What else do you know about any other?
What's it called? Nautilus has been pushed to production, so if you guys opened up Nautilus in the last day or so, I'm not sure when it happened, you will notice that It has been updated,
Oh,
and there is a buy erg button in it now in the production version. So yeah, you click on it and it takes you right to Banksy. I don't know. How do you say that, Christy?
Banksa.
Where you can buy ergs directly with fiat in the USA. So that is
It's almost like Bankster, right? But
Banksa.
without T, Banksa.
So that's great. That's the first step in integration, I'd say. Maybe at some point in the future, we'll see it fully baked into Nautilus Wallet to make it even easier. And we all know that, yeah, that seems to be the thing of choice, right? People don't like leaving their walled gardens in those instances. So yeah, super excited to see that. I am yet to test out that on ramp. Has anybody here tested out Banksa?
Cool.
It's blocked in UK, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I think it's blocked for you as well. I think it's blocked in New York. It's one of the states that's not supported.
Oh, that's right. I can't. I can test it. I
Yeah.
should be able to test it from South America, my account in South America. So we'll see. I can try that. Good point. New York. Damn it. It's New York and California, is it? What are the two states? It's like 2 states or 3 states,
Yeah, it's
right?
a couple. It's a couple weird ones like Alabama or something, and then New York. Yeah, I need to go look again. But yeah, it's a few weird ones. Maybe Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
And yeah, some questions. So yeah, I think it's KYC. Yeah, it's KYC. But can we get non-KYC options for the US? Probably not at all, right? I mean,
No.
these days it's not quite possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, not legit ones.
So and then yeah, there is also a question when a new exchange. So yeah, I don't know. I've received a few listing offers which are free, but you have to pay for marketing campaign. And yeah, well, there are some requirements, but not strict. But yeah, the question, are those options needed, right? Considering they're not really free, and marketing campaigns probably won't work in 2025. So
Christy, maybe we should just ask the Cardano treasury for listing fees to pay those.
yeah, that's actually quite fine. But for this snack, right?
Yeah,
Snack,
I couldn't believe that. It's
the
fun.
drama.
It's just funny to
But
see that argument online. You're right. It's funny that people are masquerading pumps. You know, the potential to pump something by listing it with the idea that it's going to be better for the. I don't know. It's funny arguments, seeing these crazy hollow arguments that are very transparent to use community treasury money to list an individual project. Absolutely nuts.
Right. But yeah, I mean, so for Cardano community, I believe it would be better to support base proposal from Rosen, right? And then yeah, trade snack on base, right? Coinbase, centralized exchange. As well as other Cardano assets, then yeah, Ergo. Then what else? Handshake probably, right, and other blockchains which are joining Rosen.
Right. I mean,
Also,
the beauty about Rosen,
that-
the beauty about Rosen on base, right, is that you're essentially rug proof, right? Once Rosen is on base, or once Rosen can connect to certain chains that are on base, if something's rugged or pulled from base, then just make another pair somewhere with some other token that's already on base that Rosen can reach, right? So there's a level of protection you get when you're using Rosen, an ability to traverse to another backdoor if one door is shut on you. Unlike when exchanges write you and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, your fake washing and fake volume is not up to par with what we need you to stay listed on this exchange." So That $1 million you paid us for your marketing fee? No, that's gone. You're off.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
spicy
that's
today, Kushti. Sorry.
that's yeah, insane. But we need for more centralized exchanges maybe. But yeah, the question is which ones, right? So I mean, so those exchanges are which can list for some marketing campaign amount, let's say, just they're like Biconomy, CoinDCX, which can give pair with the Indian rupiah. Then what else? So there are some other exchanges, like few ones, but yeah, the question is, will they provide any value? It's not clear, and from exchanges which can provide value, I think it would be good to get maybe on some regional exchanges, right?
Well, what happened to is Trade Ogre still down? Is that gone for good? Did you hear any news on that? Any additional news?
I don't know. So there are no any news, and yeah, I mean, people saying that back in 2023 they went offline for 12 days in a row. But yeah, I mean, this time probably people are nervous after ZGEX, right? Well, there are expectations of new incident, let's say. But yeah, it's not quite clear what's going on because yeah, it's fully anonymous exchange. There are a lot of speculations, but yeah, you always have speculations, right? But no one knows what's going on there.
Yeah, it's still down.
So yeah, but let's hope yeah, it will be up soon. So
What was that, Mark? You're gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just saying it's still down. I just checked.
Yeah, I'm looking at connection time down for Cloudflare. Bummer.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got 50 cents still there from when I was trading USDT and Ergo with, I think it was a bot that, I can't remember who made it. Somebody in the Ergo devs, not Ergo devs, Ergo mining made a nice little trade bot that works with Trade Ogre. That did pretty well, honestly. It was just keeping the spread. It was just trying to keep a spread there between the two. So yeah, bummer. MB says from Kuwait and new, how can we help? Welcome, MB. New, fantastic. There's a lot of things you can do here in the Ergo ecosystem. There's several DAOs to join. There's a Sigmanauts, which is a community DAO, which essentially tries to oversee and help and bolster anything that's related to Ergo from a community standpoint. They've branched off and created the Ergo Sig Mining DAO, which is based on a mining pool, one of the first to collect storage rent. So there's that to join if you have a GPU and you want to point that. Even if you don't want to mine, it's a fun group to join. We just launched, as I said, the Ergo Infra DAO, which is working on hosting infrastructure based on the community input, as opposed to a centrally funded model. This would be a more of a community funded model to host all the Ergo infrastructure. But yeah, hop in there, roll up your sleeves. If you do any program, Kushtis, the core devs have a lot of, the EF has a lot of bounties out there that are ripe for the picking, that you can make some money off of. And other than that, the easiest way to help out Ergo is to spread the word, whether it be in Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X.com, or anything like that. That's the easiest way to give it a go. And of course, if you have any questions about how it works or why Ergo or anything like that, hop in chat and somebody will be bound to correct you or encourage you or give you the details on why they think Ergo is important in
right.
this place, this moment in time. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, we have some new generation coming, right? So recently, a lot of new faces in the chats, actually, as well as our Twitter. So probably there is need to repost tutorials from 21, 22, right, on how to use applications, what applications available. Along with new tutorials for PoW and so on, right? So how to trade, what are security assumptions, how Ergo is different in regards with open source, know your assumptions, minimizing trust, enabling peer-to-peer interactions, and so on.
Did you get
so
did you get new submissions, Kirsty? Did you get any new submissions?
At least one, but yeah, I need to check the chat because I've been busy with other matters in recent days. So, but yeah, there is at least one submission from Michael. So we'll check. And, pay reward out later today, hopefully. Still a lot of things, other things, but yeah, hope to find time for that. We I believe made a ton of materials, right? Our the last few years, and
Historically, we have so
most of
much.
them.
It's insane how much materials we have, Kirsty. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, most of them are still relevant. So yeah, we can just repost them for newcomers. I mean, it could be a big mistake to consider, Ergo community as something static, right? Like people who came when even, right? I mean, most of people high C rounds came in 21, right? 22. But yeah, well, most of my conversations happened around 2019, 20, right? Because after that it got quite hard to communicate with so many people, to be honest. So there is need to limit communications channels mostly. It's not static, right? It's not formed in 21, right? And been static since. So people always coming and some going, right? But yeah, most of people around periodically appearing. New face always appearing, and there is need to basically remind, right, about what Ergo is, what tooling available, what are basic principles, manifestos, and so on, so on, so on. And we actually need to prepare for like new big wave of Ergonauts. I think it's time, right? Because it's 2025, and there is a new wave of interest, I believe, in proof of work assets, right? It's uncontrollable mage assets. Even legally, right? So in the US, there could be recognition in form of Clarity Act. Maybe more, but it seems it's the time, right? For major uncontrolled proof of work assets.
Oh, big notice here, Kirsty. Spectrum's winding down.
Okay.
Yep, it looks like this. So for those of you that are new here, Spectrum started out as Ergo decks back in the day. And then they moved to Spectrum Network, rebranded, and they pushed to Cardano mainly. So they were very focused on Cardano. They still ran Ergo decks front end for Ergo side, but they've been off Ergo for quite a while, I'd say.
But it's about Spectrum Network.
Spectrum Network, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Ergo decks will remain, right? But yeah, I mean it's not been developed.
Yeah, it hasn't been. Mu uses the Ergo decks front end modification, or Crooks did, I think. I don't know if Mu uses specifically that, but yeah, right? Mu uses it. HQ.
Yeah, I think we're using the front end modified version, but we need to check with the team about the back end. So if they're going to run it, still good, because last time we tried to run it, it's told us that it was hectic to run it. So I guess if they're going down, we will just set a meeting with them and get the backup, the back end also. So far, the back end is working. So yeah.
Do you run your own batcher bots because you have Mu HQ?
Yeah, we have custom bots which we run. Other community members were also running those, so there is no issue with those bots.
Very cool.
Oh, but Ergodex, it seems untouched, right? So it's about Spectrum Network, which has a white paper, basically.
Who hosts? Yasha doesn't host. I mean, Ilya doesn't host Ergodex as well on their infrastructure.
Sorry.
I thought that Ilya hosted Ergodex on their infrastructure along with Spectrum. No, isn't that their infrastructure?
Yeah, so it's the front end, yeah, they're hosting, but they're profiting from it, right? It's they're getting fees.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
But contracts are on chain, and yeah, contracts it's the same basically, the centralized exchange with different front ends, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
Mu and
Yep.
Ergodex, but Ergodex seems yeah to be intact, and yeah, Spectrum Network is white paper they published back in 21, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, well, not sure about implementation. So initially, they stated that there are some issues in Bluetooth, right? And well, they awaited for Bluetooth version 3. But then, yeah, well, probably the whole concept of layer 2, right, as mentioned in the white paper, became irrelevant. So we have some layer 2s coming, right, but of different kind.
Well, I think the good part about this is they are just paying back people if they're still holding SPF, right? Because if you go down there is reimbursement method. So people just need to have their SPF in their wallets and they will be paid back. Funds will be returned pro rata to all SPF holders depending on chain reserves. So yeah.
All right, yeah. But yeah, well, those SPF tokens intended to be utility tokens of the network, right? Spectrum network. But yeah, well, this network has white paper, I believe. So I haven't seen any test nets even. There were no any testnets. Oh, they had some vault contracts actually. Would be quite useful to reuse them maybe. So it's left unnoticed, but yeah, vault contract is actually quite cool. So it has just single pub key, I believe, on chain, right? So just like ordinary address on the Ergo blockchain, but actually off chain, it's controlled by up to 1024 signers, right? And that they made some prototype, some demo of signing. So yeah, could be reused, I believe, for some large-scale DAOs and so on, right? So in Spectrum network, there was idea to have validators controlled. Spectrum network validators controlled vaults. But yeah, it's open source, so yeah, well, can be reused in other contexts. And yeah, so for layer 2s, well, what we have is kind of specific layer 2s, right? Like Lithos coming, and in the chain group, cache group, we are discussing like multiple trackers based off chain cache, like BitTorrent trackers kind of model, but for tracking state of off-chain cache systems. Any news on Silver Dexia? But we don't have Joe.
He's coming back. His battery died. He's coming right now. Look at this.
All
Ready?
right, so
Boom. Joe, you've got a question, Joe.
What
so
did I
maybe-
miss?
you missed Silver. So the question is when Silver Dexia? Question from Byron.
That's a good question. We do have the Oracle put together. I would say Dexi's been out for a bit, so we should have some information in terms of how it's operating. So all the pieces are there to put it together anyway. I don't think we've had a firm date towards launching it. It's been interesting. I know that Gluon was working on trying to fully verify their protocol, and then we have Dexy in parallel. So that's a big choice that the Rosen community can make, which protocol to plug in that Oracle to.
Joe,
All right, and
you sharing a booth, Joe, with Zengate this year? Or are you buy your own booth, or are you just gonna float with the t-shirts and just cannon them into people?
No, I'm gonna be around Zengate.
Very nice. Is what's
Yeah,
it
I got in
called?
yesterday.
CKB joining you guys as well this year?
Yeah, I was actually talking with Jordan yesterday about what they're working on over there, and potential collaborations.
Watch out for Jordan.
Nothing to report.
Watch out for Jordan and Dan. They have sticky fingers when it comes to t-shirts and merch, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll be ready.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh no, I spent some time with them yesterday. Had a lunch. Was talking about what they're working on in their ecosystem, what we're working on, potential for collaboration.
Awesome. Are you guys thinking of bridging to CKB in the future?
Yeah, I would love to. It fits a lot of the parameters that I find attractive with Rosen, where it's a proof of work chain, oftentimes underappreciated, and I would say undervalued relative to, I don't know, sometimes the crypto space can be weird. People will look you straight in the eye and sell you a cartoon. What can you do?
Yep. What's new on the EF side, Mark? Any updates?
Yeah, we've got Alison's working with Banksa to create a notification service. So that will be about a week or two, he said. After that, we can get backs up withdrawals live, and finally have a fully fledged on and off ramp. So that'd be good. I've just been working on lots of articles, so I've got about 10 articles on the go. Just trying to flood them over the next few weeks. I'm also going to update the roadmap on the docs, because that's last been updated to 2024. So we need to update that, and we'll do the pitch deck as well, because there's a bunch of kind of post-launch investors. So I think it's worthwhile just spamming the pitch deck out to them, try and get some more eyes on Ergo. Because it's a easy investment, easy win if somebody's got the other side, the marketing and organization, if they want to come in and just build that on top. So keep blasting them out and try and get some bites. And then just doing little things, updating docs and stuff. I've created a partnership guide page for all these kind of requests we get. Takes ages to kind of evaluate if they're legit or not. So I'm just trying to account for all the things and put them to that page, so we don't miss anybody. We always get loads of weird Twitter DMs and emails and stuff. We've got Baby Doge trying to buy Ergo. They offered to buy Ergo. It's obviously not them, but just anything comes in, we'll just hit with a boilerplate, so don't miss anybody. So just doing things like that last week.
Yeah, Mark, I'll sell them the GitHub links for a few $1 million if they want to.
It's a good deal.
Oh boy, nice. What else, guys? Anything else? We had some topics, but as usual, we don't stick to any topics whatsoever. But it's at least good to have them there to start.
I have a question,
You hit it, Brian.
and that's for like any of the devs that's been here recently or for a while. Is how do you guys stay sane seeing the entire space try to like pivot towards layer 1 ZK and it's been here like from the beginning? Like, how does everybody stay sane? Because I'm seeing it like quietly be advertised in a lot of spaces, and it's like I feel like it's gonna take a lot of years, and it's been here since 2019, I guess, and it's like nobody talks about it. For any
I think the best way to stay sane is just not pay attention, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit hard to stay sane in this space at all. But yeah, it's better to just stay in some circle, right, which is not as insane as the whole space. That's how.
I mean, there's worse ways they could be pivoting. At least it seems to be going a bit back towards our favor.
True.
And not just pure nonsense and meme coins and rugs. So I kind of see it as an expected pathway the space would take. So just glad it's happening.
I try to think of it like a swimmer, right? When a professional swimmer's swimming, they're not picking their head up every second to look at the wall or anything like that. They kind of know where they are, and they know their goal is every time they pick up their head and breathe and then put their head back down to swim. I think of it that way. I think globally with the stuff that I keep myself busy with, at least locally here, with what we're trying to do here with Ergo and with the blockchain and with integrating it into everyday things. So I look at that goal and think that goal is going to serve a wider purpose. So let me focus on that and push that through and make sure that works smoothly here and show examples and show real live working things. So that's essentially putting your head down, taking a big breath and pushing through, and then picking your head up again, looking around, being like, why is the audience smoking crack and humping dogs? I'm going to put my head down and work some more, kind of thing. So that's how I get through it, at least. But it is frustrating to look at these things and be like, what the hell is going on?
Because they advertise it like it's new, like they just found some new thing, and it's like, what?
Yep.
I like that. I like the swimming analogy though.
Yeah, I would just say try to find entertainment in the madness and focus on building neat things that we find interesting, right? So it's like once you have your own vision of what you want to do, just follow that and let the noise be the noise.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I mean, most of the people that I talk to, at least on like X.com or see people posting, 90% of those people, it's a speculative tool, right? So it's really hard to have serious conversations with those people. But once you get into communities like Ergo, where people are focused on building and making a difference and actually making tools that will outlast them and not just, buff their wallet so they can exit and pay for their house or their car or their truck or that kind of thing, which I get, but to me, there's more to it than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think actually there is big requests right from developers to build in such environments. So I think there is a need to do another marketing campaign for developers like we did back in 2020. So yeah, well, yeah, well, this time probably it should be more kind of ideological, right? So, well, there are a lot of developers willing to change the status quo with their work, right? But the crypto industry is not allowing for that these days. There are just very few like harbors, right? Where rebel developers can unite and develop like Ergo. So yeah, it would be good to make another marketing campaign like that.
Oh, Grayman's got a question. Hit it, Grayman. Welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, I just finished my smoking some crack. So my question is a little bit out of left field. It's about what's happening to Monero right now in their battle with, what is it, Qubit, or this come from behind dudes network. And my question is, are they going to move on from, one proof of work chain to the next, trying to take over their mining, or is that even possible with a GPU based proof of work chain, much less an ASIC mined one? Is Monero just an especially soft target because it's CPU mined? Is my question.
It's hard to say. So it's hard to say how successful this CFB's attack with Monero even, right? So it seems they claimed they going to do 51% attack, but haven't succeeded, right? So hard to say. Maybe even they sponsor. So they're sponsoring, right? Miners definitely with their tokens, but maybe it wasn't profitable for them, right? Maybe they donated basically some tokens after all in the exchange for marketing, because now, well, it's quite buzzing, this I don't know, could beat
Yeah, it's
yes.
crazy. What they're doing is they're having their miners theoretically are supposed to be contributing to some proof of useful work AI thing, but actually they're just mining Monero, which they get compensated in Qubit or whatever, and then they send the Monero to a chain, change it for USDT, and buy Qubit with it, and then they burn that. So it's a straight up insanity, if you ask me. But that is their business model, and evidently they had a huge chunk of the Monero hash rate. So I just thought, is that
Right.
just because it's CPU mined and therefore everybody can have it? Would this even be possible if it were Ergo and they had to get people to contribute with their GPUs? It just seems
Yeah,
like
but
maybe a weakness of Monero. I don't know.
Probably economically it's disaster, right? I mean, probably they're paying more tokens than they're burning, right? Basically, so it's just they just basically paying for the attack, right? Like you can just rent GPUs, CPUs, and you can rent a botnet probably, right? And attack Monero blockchain. And probably it would be even more efficient, but yeah, here you also have a lot of marketing coming from Monero community, and not only, right, as we are discussing it right now. So yeah, well, I don't know. So I think it's mostly about marketing, right? So economically, probably this attack is complete disaster. But yeah, I mean that's typical CFB's show.
I'm I'm trying to have patience, but I have to think this is going to end in disaster, like you say, and it's pretty amusing.
Yeah, but after all, it would be disastrous for this cubic, right? So if so the only hope is that supply would be increased, not supply, sorry, demand would be increased, right? Because they're increasing supply probably by inefficiency of this attack, right? But then they need to increase demand. They are trying to do that via this marketing, right? But if CB is failing with that, then yeah, I mean it's a bit disastrous probably. But also, yeah, I mean for the whole Cubic and its reputation, right? If it's proof of useful work for AI, but instead used as kind of botnet to attack Monero. It's in the long term probably not so good play even.
Yeah, it's just trying to create some kind of flywheel effect and make a lot of noise. You know, it's strange where it's like, okay, let's say that in theory they did succeed in taking over Monero, right? They may just destroy the value that's underpinning their flywheel, and it would be worse than when they started.
Well, they dump the Monero, they dump the XMR as soon as they can to get cubic. So it theoretically would drive that price down, but I think the price has been pretty static for the last few months they've been doing this. So I guess the answer to my question is, regardless of whether GPU would make it easier or harder, we probably shouldn't regard this as a threat because it's just so stupid.
I find it entertaining. It's one of those things. It's kind of strange. I don't know what it has to do with the AI or what the usefulness is of the AI. Does anybody?
Maybe AI.
So
Maybe AI came up with a marketing plan, Joe.
probably it would be more efficient to rent on nice hash, just right, or rent some big firm, so something like that. But yeah, for efficiency of this emulated mining, so you know, it seems so. If I understand right, so that they have some computational task embedded into proof of useful work. Then you're basically losing efficiency, right, for this emulation, basically. But I mean, in comparison with just running Monero mining function or Ergo mining function on hardware, right, on physical GPU. So here you have this level of abstraction, so this cubic proof of work proof of useful work function. So yeah, you're inevitably losing a lot of efficiency in mining. So would be better to just rent hardware, right? Bare metal and deploy miners there. So I don't know. So probably just crazy CFB style story.
Artificial stupidity.
All right.
Well, it's 5 minutes past the hour almost. Another successful community AMN. Thanks for joining, everybody. I think Andy's back next week, so perhaps we'll take a change and go back to the original format. I think he's been camping in the woods for too long. Hopefully he remembers how to use a computer when he comes back. Any closing statements, guys?
I like the Rosenbiz UI update.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Rosen Bridges is how I say it now because of Kushti.
All right. Enjoyable talk, guys. Let's continue maybe with community chats.
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in chats, and we'll see you same time next week. Thanks, everybody, for joining.